Good morning, all. So today we are going to start new concept, that is gravimetric analysis. Okay, gravimetric analysis. Now, gravimetric. Yeah, you might have been heard the gravitational force. Okay, that is in the downward direction. Okay, so gravi. Okay, gravitational force. Gravi means we are measuring here weight. We are measuring here weight. Okay, so we'll see how the concept work and what are the things comes under this concept, gravimetric analysis. So we are doing the analysis on the basis of weighing of the substance, and that by weighing that substance we can do its quantitative analysis. Okay, so it is a classical method of quantitative analysis. Okay, and the final fact is that the end product of analysis is weighed. Okay, and the weighing form has known mass relationship with the substance to be estimated. Okay, so the substance we are going to estimate. Okay, so there is a relation between the actual substance or the moiety which we are focusing from a mixture. Okay, that you can say it. Okay, समझो कि वहां पे कुछ एक चीज है, हमारे पास कोई है ना, लेड सल्फेट का एक प्रेसिपिटेट है और उसमें से हमें सिर्फ सल्फर ही फाइंड आउट करना है। तो लेड सल्फेट का प्रेसिपिटेट आता है या बैरियम सल्फेट का प्रेसिपिटेट बनेगा उधर, लेकिन अगर हम वी वांट टू फाइंड आउट द सल्फर, so there is a relation between weight and the mass of that particular species, that is a sulfur. Okay, so that relation we are going to use. Okay, so gravimetric analysis is based on the measurement of weight of a substance, of known composition which is chemically related to the analyte. As I said, you know that the precipitate, what I told you, if there is a precipitate of lead sulfate, PbSO4, okay, you know the composition, and in this there is a presence of sulfur, है ना। सपोज इसका मास या वेट x ग्राम है, तो उसमें ये कितना है, सपोज कि y है, सो वी कैन फाइंड आउट, अगर ये हमें 2 ग्राम मिलता है तो इसमें कितना होगा। सो बाय डूइंग क्रॉस मल्टीप्लिकेशन वी कैन फाइंड आउट द वैल्यू ऑफ particular species. Okay, so what are the types of gravimetric analysis? See, these are the 4 basic types of gravimetric analysis. First is the volatilization gravimetry, then precipitation gravimetry, electrogravimetry, and thermogravimetry. Okay, volatilization, we are going to volatilize something. Here is the precipitate forms. Here we are going to use electricity. Okay, and here we are using temperature. Now what happens? See, in the first volatilization gravimeter, it involves separating the component present by thermally, okay, or by chemical decomposition. With the help of heat, we are going to decompose it chemically. Okay, so in this we can do the analysis. We'll see in detail. A precipitation gravimeter, it involves precipitating the substance to be estimated. As a sparingly soluble compound, and after suitable treatment, the solid residue of known chemical composition is weighed. Okay, so whatever precipitate is formed, from which we can find out a particular species, okay, or particular element, you can say. So that is no problem, that is possible. Electrogravimetry. Okay, what happened here? It involves the use of electrolysis to deposit the metal from where? From the solution, and where that is depositing on the solid electrode. Okay, and the deposited metals mass can be determined. जो कि ये इलेक्ट्रोड पे डिपॉजिट हो रहा है, उसका मास we can determine. And in the thermogravimetric analysis, see, in this technique, in which the mass of a substance is monitored monitored as a function of temperature or the time. Temperature or the time, as the sample is subjected to the controlled temperature program atmosphere. What we are doing here? We are taking substance of a specific weight, okay, and that we are, or the mass, and that we are heating with the constant increasing, okay. So for the 5 minutes you are heating at 100 degree, for again 5 minutes you are heating at 105 degree, likewise. Or you are increasing temperature constantly and you are observing what changes are taking place in that substance which you are heating, okay. So either you are measuring that change with respect to temperature or measuring that change with respect to time. This is how the thermogravimetric technique works, okay. So now we'll proceed further. So what is a precipitation gravimetry? What is a precipitation gravimetry? Here formation of precipitate take place and we are going to measure the weight of that precipitate. We are going to measure the weight of that precipitate. See now, suppose here chemical reaction take place. Actually it works on the basis of chemical reaction. What happens? What happens? See, if you see here the reaction below. So here A molecule of A react with R molecule of R, okay, then that gives this product. Then that gives this product, that is AaRR. Is essentially a sparingly soluble substance. It is a sparingly, means a partially soluble substance, okay, which can be weighed as such after suitable drying, okay. We can dry that substance, that precipitate, and we can take the weight of that substance, okay. That substance can again be ignited to another compound, okay, of known composition. You can heat that substance and that can be possible to convert into another substance, okay. For example, see here you have barium. See, barium can be determined gravimetrically by forming its precipitate as a barium sulfate, okay, which can be dried and weighed. You have barium ion in a solution and you want to find out how much barium ions are there. You have to add a sulfate solution to that, okay, and then there will be the formation of barium sulfate solid, okay, precipitate that you can measure, okay. Or you can estimate, you can find out iron from solution. What happens? Iron first get converted to the iron hydroxide. This is what the solid, okay. And if you heat this one, if you ignite this one, okay, what will happen? This iron hydroxide will get converted into the iron oxide. That is also solid, okay. So evolution of 3 water molecule. By this way you can do the analysis of iron also. So what are the important things which are required for the precipitation? Okay, whatever precipitate form, that should be insoluble, okay. And by the filtration it can be separated from the solution, very important, okay. Then it should be obtained in a pure form, okay, means it should be free of impurity, okay. Then it can be easily separated, okay. Then solution by filtration, okay. After that you should be able to wash that solid, okay, okay. जो filter कर रहे हो आप उसका solid आ रहा है, वो solid आप wash भी कर सकते हो, ऐसा होना चाहिए ताकि whatever impurities may be present in that solid, that may get flushed out, okay. So that will be the free of impurity, okay. So final product which will be there in your hand, it should be of free of impurity, okay. So it should have known and constant composition, okay. Its composition should be known and constant, okay. After drying and if necessary ignition, okay. Ignition करने के बाद हो या कुछ भी कर कैसे भी हो, but its composition should be constant, okay. वो रहना चाहिए. These are what the basic thing required in the precipitation gravimetry. Now completeness of precipitation, on what factor it depends, okay. Completeness of precipitation. So whatever precipitation you are carrying out, that is for the analysis purpose, quantitative analysis purpose. So as you are doing quantitative analysis, means whatever reaction, chemical reaction is going to happen over there, it should get completed. This is the first and foremost thing what we have studied at the beginning only. So okay, now see what factors, what things affect on the completeness of precipitation. So these are what? The temperature, common ion effect, then diverse ion effect, pH of solution, complexation, and nature of solvent. So these 6 factors, these 6 factors affect the completeness of precipitation. Okay, we are going to study one by one. See what happened. We'll see first the temperature, how it affects on the solubility, how it affects on the solubility. As we know that as we are going to increase the temperature of any substance, and if that is in the solid form, that will get converted to the liquid form. Again, if you are heating that substance, that liquid will get converted to the gaseous state. Means what happens as the temperature increases, solubility increases. Okay, this is how temperature affects. So as increase in temperature, there is increase in the solubility. Okay, so accordingly we have to adjust the temperature so as to separate the precipitate from the solution. Okay, so we can use it, we can do that. What is a common ion effect? So what happened as the number of common ion increases, solubility decreases. That you have studied in FIBSC, and this definition is also there in the 12th standard. What is 11th standard? What is a common ion effect? What happens? The presence of common ion with the ions of the salt decreases the solubility of the salt, right? The solubility of a salt is less in presence of common ion compared to the pure water. This effect is called as a common ion effect. Now what happens here? If there is a solution of NaCl, NaCl मिठाचं पाणी तुम्ही केलेलं आहे, ओके, Na प्लस अँड Cl मायनस आहे, मिठाचं पाणी केलंय आणि बाहेरून त्या ठिकाणी तुम्ही काय करतायत की आता हे पाणी झालंय मिठाचं, ठीक आहे, Na आहे, हा Na प्लस Cl मायनस. मग याच्यामध्ये जर मी कॉन्स्टंटली क्लोराइड आयन सोल्युशन जर टाकत राहिलो, I am adding common ion to this. Okay, one of the ion is common, that is chloride. I am adding chloride from outside. So slowly what will happen at a particular stage, this is going to be precipitate. This is going to be precipitated. Okay, in the same way the common ion effect works. Okay, so this is what one example. Okay, see the solubility product of silver chloride in the water at 298 Kelvin, means 25 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees Celsius, okay, is 1.1 into 10 raised to minus 10. So it is given here. So hence S is equal to, so square root of this one, square root of this one. Okay, so you can find out easily. You can find out easily. Now in presence of 0.1 molar solution of potassium chloride, solubility product KSP, Ag plus, concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus. So Ag plus into 0.1, that is equal to 1.1 into 10 raised to minus 10, 10 raised to minus 10. You have KSP in your hand. You know the value of KSP. Okay, now just putting the value, you will get the value of S for the silver ion. Okay, let it be. That is, nobody is going to ask this. This is just for the information. This is given in your book. We'll see the diverse ion effect, how it affects. How it affects the presence of here. That is going to affect in reverse manner. Common ion effect increases the precipitation. So diverse ion effect work in a different way. See, presence of a salt with a no ion common with that of the precipitate, the solubility of precipitate is going to increase, okay, with increasing the concentration of salt. So what happened? This effect is known as a diverse ion effect. Agar common cheez nahi hai, every time I used to give one example, if the girls and boys are randomly spread in a classroom, after 10 minutes, after 5 minutes, after 15 minutes, what will happen? Now, all randomly standing girls and boys, what will happen? Girls will get separated from the boys. Automatically that is going to happen. Okay, this is how the common ion effect works. But what happened in the diverse ion effect? They get spread. Okay, so this is how it works. The solubility of calcium sulfate, this is example, the solubility of calcium sulfate is more in presence of an indifferent electrolyte like potassium nitrate compared to the pure water. Compared to the pure water. Further, Further, it increases when it increases with the increase in the concentration of potassium nitrate. See, no ion is common. What is here? It's a calcium ion and sulfate ion already present in the water, and you are adding potassium ion and nitrate ion. So diverse ion, all ion are different. अगर एक भी कॉमन होता ना इसमें, अगर पोटेशियम सल्फेट होता तो इसका कॉन्सेंट्रेशन क्या होता, ये प्रेसिपिटेशन था, ये दिस इज गोइंग टू बी प्रेसिपिटेटेड. ओके, अगर कॉमन डालोगे, अगर कॉमन नहीं है तो इसका सोल्युबिलिटी इंक्रीज होगा कैल्शियम सल्फेट का. दिस इज हाउ द डाइवर्स आयन इफेक्ट works. Now what is a pH, how pH affects? Remember, if you want to do the precipitation of acidic substance which is present in the water aqueous solution, if you add excess acid from the outside, the whatever acid was in the ionized form present in the water, that will get and now a precipitate. म्हणजे काय, मी मराठीत सांगतो पुन्हा तुम्हाला की एखाद्या सोल्युशन आहे, पाणी आहे, त्याच्यात ऍसिड आहे आणि ते ऍसिड सोल्युबल आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये काय झालं तर डिझॉल्व्ह झालेला आहे. आता तुम्हाला त्याचा प्रेसिपिटेट पाहिजे तर काय करायचं, बाहेरच्या साईडने तुम्ही त्याच्यामध्ये जेव्हा ऍसिड टाकाल तर त्याच्यामध्ये जे ऍसिड आहे ते प्रेसिपिटेट होईल. काय होईल? प्रेसिपिटेट होईल. कारण काय होणार आहे की त्याची पीएच काय होणार आहे, पाण्याची जास्त ऍसिडिक होणार आहे, म्हणून तो ऍसिड त्या ठिकाणी प्रेसिपिटेट होईल. जर पाण्यामध्ये त्या ठिकाणी बेसिक सबस्टन्स आहे जो की सोल्युबल आहे, ओके, जेव्हा तुम्ही बाहेरून बेस ऍड कराल तर बेसचं कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन वाढत आहे, म्हणून तो बेसिक सबस्टन्स जो पाण्यामध्ये अगोदर आयोनाइज फॉर्म मध्ये होता, नाउ दॅट विल गेट प्रेसिपिटेटेड. ओके, बिकॉज इट्स बेसिक पीएच. म्हणजे काय आहे की ऍसिडिक सबस्टन्स जर तुम्हाला प्रेसिपिटेट फॉर्म मध्ये ऑलरेडी पाण्यात जर आहे, तो पाण्यामध्ये ऍसिडिक सबस्टन्स आहे आणि तो प्रेसिपिटेट करायचा असेल तर पीएच ऍसिडिक करा पाण्याची, आणि पाण्यात डिझॉल्व्ह झालेला सबस्टन्स बेसिक असेल आणि त्याचा प्रेसिपिटेट तुम्हाला हवे असेल तर पाण्याची पीएच बेसिक करा, दॅट विल गेट प्रेसिपिटेटेड. ओके, in this way, but depending upon the nature of substance which is present in the water, in the aqueous solution. Okay, त्याची pH करायची आहे. Means you want to, if you want to separate acidic substance, make the pH acidic. If you want to separate basic substance, make the pH basic. Okay, means you have to add excess substance from the outside. Now complexation, what happened here in the complexation? If you see, in many cases, precipitating agent itself, we are looking for this complexation. I think this concept is clear to you. कि acidic substance precipitate करायचा असेल तर excess acid बाहेरून ऍड करा आणि pH त्याची acidic करा. ओके, आणि बेसिक सबस्टन्स तुम्हाला त्या ठिकाणी प्रेसिपिटेट करायचं असेल तर त्याची pH काय करायची आहे, बेसिक करायची आहे, बाय ऍडिंग एक्सेस बेस फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड. नाउ हियर in many cases the precipitating agent itself may act as a complexing agent. Precipitating agent itself acts as a complexing agent, dissolving the precipitate by converting it into a complex. What happened? If you see an example below, see what happened. Initially, this Ag plus ion was in the aqueous, means they both all are in the aqueous state. You are adding cyanide ion from the outside. Ag plus Cn minus forms AgCN. Solid precipitate झाला सुरुवातीला. But with the excess addition of cyanide ion, what is happening now here? It forms AgCN twice, 1 minus. Okay, 1 minus. But now that get solubilized. See what happened. Initially, precipitate was formed, but with the excess addition of cyanide ion, there is a formation of silver cyanide 1 minus complex, and that is now get solubilized. म्हणजे सुरुवातीला काहीच नव्हतं, जेव्हा सायनाइड आयन टाकला तिथे सॉलिड तयार झाला, पुन्हा सायनाइड आयन टाकणं मी कंटिन्यू करतोय आणि त्याचं काय झालंय, पुन्हा तो काय झालाय, त्या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला वॉटर मध्ये काहीच दिसत नाही, तो पुन्हा सोल्युबलाइज झालेला आहे. So this is what the complexation happens in this case. Okay, in the case of silver cyanide. So nature of solvent, how it affects, like it dissolves like attracts like. Polar solvent like water will always favor the dissolution of polar substance, that is ionic substance. But if you are adding another substance which is having covalent nature or non-polar solute, okay, that is not going to dissolve in the water, that is not going to dissolve in the water. Okay, so see what happened. Solubility of calcium sulfate in the water can be decreased with the addition of solvent like ethanol to it. Okay, so for example, 80-20 mixture of water and ethanol decreases the solubility of lead sulfate in the water to such an extent that it can be quantitatively separated. जो की अगोदर लेड सल्फेट पाण्यामध्ये डिझॉल्व्ह झालेला होता तुमचा, है ना, त्याच्यामध्ये जर मी सोल्युशन टाकलं कोणतं 80-20 म्हणजे काय की 80 ml पाणी आहे आणि 20 ml त्याच्यामध्ये काय आहे इथेनॉल आहे. हे जर मी त्या पाण्यामध्ये टाकलं ज्याच्यात कोणतं सबस्टन्स आहे लेड सल्फेट आहे, हां, हे जर सोल्युशन याच्यात टाकलं तर हळूहळू काय होणार आहे, इथे प्रेसिपिटेट तयार व्हायला सुरुवात होते. कोणाचा प्रेसिपिटेट असतो तो लेड सल्फेटचा. ओके, जो की सुरुवातीला दिसत नव्हता. इन दिस वे. ओके, नाउ विल सी what is the unit operation in gravimetric analysis. What is the unit operation in gravimetric analysis? Now see, these are the things, unit operations. And precipitation म्हणजे काय, what it means, what means the digestion, what is the filtration, what is washing, okay, what is drying, what is ignition, and what is weighing. So all these steps you are going to study in the inorganic qualitative analysis and inorganic quantitative analysis. Okay, the practicals are there in which you are going to do precipitation, digestion, filtration, washing, drying, ignition, incineration, and the weighing. Now we'll see what is the precipitation. Precipitation मतलब क्या है, कोई solution में एक substance है जो कि dissolved form में है, dissolved form में है, और वो क्या चाहिए हमें precipitated form में चाहिए. We want it in the solid form. Okay, so how that is possible to convert that, so that the substance which is there in the soluble form to the solid state in that solution. Okay, that process is called as the precipitation. Now some certain conditions are there for the precipitation. Certain factor plays very important role here. So for to get solid separated from the solution, the product of concentration of the ions of the salt must be greater than the product of solubility product of the salt. जो सब्सटेंस का आपको क्या चाहिए, प्रेसिपिटेट चाहिए, उसका आयंस का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन का प्रोडक्ट जो है वो स्ट्रॉन्ग चाहिए. That should be greater than the solubility product. This is the first condition. Therefore, in the precipitation, the above condition must be fulfilled. Okay, so solids start to get separated from the solution. Okay, initially small number of particles of the solid are formed. These are referred as a nuclei. These are referred as a nuclei. जो कि शुरुआत में थोड़े से पार्टिकल बनेंगे solution में. These are the nuclei. And further deposition of salt on the solid occurs on these initially formed particles called nuclei. This process is referred as a crystal growth. This is called as a crystal growth. Which two processes are there? Then first is the formation of nuclei. Then second process is a growth of nuclei, that is a crystal growth. Growth of nuclei, that is a crystal growth. Now what happened? When the rate of nucleation is small compared with the rate of crystal growth, the small number of nuclei will be formed, and finally we will get the small number of large sized crystals. Okay, on the other hand, if the rate of nucleation or nuclear formation is faster than the rate of crystal growth, then in that case you will get the larger sized crystals. You will get the larger sized crystal. Okay, so this is what the thing matter over here. But during the process of precipitation, the first step is the nucleation process, second step is the crystal growth process. Okay, and to get the larger particle, to get the larger crystal, rate of nuclear formation should be more. Okay, so you will get the larger sized crystals or the particles. Okay, now we'll see nucleation and crystal growth. What is the relation over here? In here, the homogeneous and heterogeneous nucleation process is there. What is homogeneous and heterogeneous nucleation? Heterogeneous means a different one. A foreign matter suspended in the solution acts as a nuclei in the heterogeneous nucleation. And in homogeneous nucleation, the molecule actually you want to get precipitated will act as a nuclei, in the solution. Okay, so these are the two things which works over there. Okay, so what is important for us? The homogeneous nucleation. We need a homogeneous nucleation and not the heterogeneous nucleation to get the good quality product in our hand. Because whatever foreign material is there, so heterogeneous nucleation is going to cause a impurity, in the final product. Okay, now we'll see what is a colloidal state. ये colloidal state जो है, इनके particle size जो है ना, that particle size is between 10⁻⁹ to 10⁻⁶ meter. Okay, and they are having their particle size intermediate between precipitate and crystalloids. Okay, as a solid grows up, the system passes through the nuclei, clusters, colloidal state and pores precipitate. Okay, जो कि प्रोसेस होता है प्रेसिपिटेशन का, वो ऐसा होता है, nuclei, clusters, colloidal state and pores precipitate. Okay, now colloidal particle carries the charge on it. Okay, and that arises due to the adsorption of ion on the surface of crystal. Due to the charge, colloidal particle migrates in a applied electric field. They can migrate in an applied electric field, and they can scatter the light. The scattering of light by the colloidal particle is called as the Tyndall effect, and they can show the random movement. That random motion is called as a Brownian movement that you have studied in the 12th standard. What is the Tyndall effect? What is the Brownian movement? Okay, so particle absorbs the ion from the solution. Okay, so the ions absorbed are usually ions of opposite charge. Okay, so which are present in the large concentration in the solution. Okay, the ions that are in the direct contact with the precipitate forms a primary layer. जो कि हमारा precipitate बना है, उसके contact में, उसके surface के ऊपर जो कि ions precipitate होंगे, they forms a primary layer. Okay, and that primary layer attracts the ion of opposite charges to form a secondary layer. See how primary layer forms. Suppose this is primary layer, on that there is a formation of this is what our precipitate, on that there is a formation of primary layer, and these charge ions, primary layer charge ions, colloid ions, will attract other ions that are the secondary layer, and the charge on this layer and this layer is opposite now. Okay, stability of colloidal particle is due to the charge that they carry, and neutralization of charge will destroy the stability and coagulate colloid particle. Neutralization of charge will destroy the stability and coagulate colloidal particle. The coagulation will occur over there when the neutralization of charge will occur. Okay, now the ion responsible for neutralization of charge will be the one that will carry the charge opposite to that of adsorbed ion. न्यूट्रलायझेशन करायचं आहे कोलॉइडल पार्टिकलचं, तर काय करावं लागेल की जे कोलॉइडल पार्टिकल्सचे जे चार्जेस आहेत त्याच्या अपोजिट चार्जचे जे आयन्स आहे त्यांच्याबरोबरच आपण त्या ठिकाणी न्यूट्रलायझेशन करू शकतो. ओके, देन दॅट इज ओनली पॉसिबल. Greater the charge on the ion, lesser will be the amount of that ion required to coagulate the colloid. How you can coagulate the colloid? If you neutralize the ions, colloidal ions, with the help of other ion, and that other ion is having more charge on it, definitely very less number of that ions are required for the coagulation of colloidal particles. Okay, so when precipitate is washed with the water and the electrolyte will be removed, okay, this will decrease the electrolyte concentration. This will decrease the electrolyte concentration. Okay. So now we'll see what is the next concept. It's aging and digestion of precipitate. Aging and digestion of precipitate. ये क्या है actually? What it means? Okay, aging. What is this? Okay, see the process of heating the precipitate on water bath, and keeping it in contact with the solution from which it is obtained called as a digestion. म्हणजे बीकर मध्ये सोल्युशन आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये प्रेसिपिटेट तयार झालेला आहे. ओके, आणि तो जो आहे बीकर, एक वॉटर बाथ घ्या बाजूला, त्या वॉटर बाथ मध्ये ते हीट करा तो बीकर. दॅट प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज aging or digestion. Okay, so this process is called as the aging or the post-wall ripening of the precipitate. Now see here some detail. It is carried out before the filtration. How it helps for us? See, the objective of this process is to ensure to confirm the complete precipitation, okay, then removal of the impurities, and to convert the precipitate in the form that can be easily filtered. Okay, when the digestion is carried out, the smaller particles that exhibit higher solubility will get dissolved in the mother liquor. त्या पाण्यामध्ये ते dissolve होणार आहे. Okay, and what will happen? That soluble particle, smaller particle will get separated. Okay, so the impurities, if the impurities they have been precipitated, will remain in the dissolved state after the heating and will thus easily separated from the precipitate. Okay, म्हणजे काय करायचं आहे, जे आपलं फ्लास्क आहे ते काय करा, हीट करा. हीट केल्यानंतर ते डिझॉल्व होईल. डिझॉल्व झाल्यानंतर पुन्हा कूल करायचं आहे. तर फक्त जे रिक्वायर्ड सबस्टन्स आहे तो प्रेसिपिटेट होईल आणि ज्या बाकीच्या इम्प्युरिटी ज्या आहेत त्या काय होतील, त्याच्यामध्ये डिझॉल्व स्टेट मध्ये राहतील. आणि तुम्ही जेव्हा फिल्टर कराल ते प्रेसिपिटेट, ज्याचे तुम्हाला लार्जर पार्टिकल साइज मध्ये मिळणार आहे, ते फिल्टर केल्यानंतर काय होणार आहे, वरती जे तुम्हाला आहे ना, ह्या फनेल, याच्यामध्ये समजा फनेल आहे ना, इथे याच्यामध्ये आपण त्या ठिकाणी फिल्टर पेपर टाकूयात. ओके, आणि फिल्टर केल्यानंतर याच्यामध्ये फक्त प्रेसिपिटेट राहील है ना, आणि या खाली जे आहे इम्प्युरिटीज काय होणार आहे, त्याच्यामधून निघून जाणार आहे. पाणी जे तुम्ही पाण्यामध्येच हीट केलं होतं ना अगोदर, बीकर मध्ये जेव्हा घेतलं, आणि तो बीकर काय मी सांगितलं होतं तुम्हाला, वॉटर बाथ मध्ये ठेवायचा आहे. याच्यामध्ये पण सोल्युशन आहे, आणि याच्या साईडला काय आहे, हियर इट्स अ वॉटर. ओके, हियर इट्स अ वॉटर, आणि हा बीकर हीट केल्यानंतर काय केलाय तो, पुन्हा हे सर्व डिझॉल्व झालं. प्रेसिपिटेट जे अगोदर होतं याच्यात डिझॉल्व झाला. आता पुन्हा काय काढायचं आहे तो थंड करा, आणि थंड केल्यानंतर इथे पोर करा. इम्प्युरिटीज खाली निघून जातील आणि सॉलिड इथे प्रेसिपिटेट तुम्हाला मिळेल. ओके, सो thus the process of digestion of precipitate. See what happen, काय बेनिफिट आहे त्याचा, पार्टिकल साइज इन्क्रीज होते, इम्प्युरिटी त्याच्यामध्ये रिमूव्ह करता येतात. ओके, देन ऍब्सॉर्ब इम्प्युरिटी, त्या ज्या रिडिझॉल्व झाल्या होत्या हिटिंग नंतर, that redissolved impurities will get separated, that comes down along with the water. Okay, imperfection in the crystal lattice is also possible to remove by the process of aging and the digestion. The surface area of the precipitate decreases and the shape become regular for the crystal or the precipitate. Okay, so you will get a fine and pure crystal. Okay, so how this is very important. Okay, frequently the question is asked on the aging and the digestion of the precipitate. Whatever things we are learning here in this topic in the gravimetric analysis, so all the things we need to do, or every day this is a practice in the research and development, in the all the manufacturing units. Okay, large plant जे की आपण cosmetics आहे, medicines are there. Okay, different products are there. So to prepare these different products which are existed in the market, which we are using in our day-to-day life, are manufactured by these processes. Okay, and they goes through all these steps, and finally we are getting the pure product which we are using. Okay, now we'll see certain more things over here. See, now the how the impurities arises in the precipitate final product, how the impurities arises or the comes in the final precipitate. Okay, so what happened, different things are there, different concept, what are different simultaneous precipitation occur. What different precipitations are there responsible for the impurities to come in the final product, that is in the precipitated form. Simultaneous precipitation is there, then co-precipitation concept is there, and post-precipitation. So on the name itself, by the name itself, you will come to know simultaneous happens in a simultaneously. Okay, then co-precipitation is there. Okay, and post-precipitation will be there. So what happens in the simultaneous precipitation? Say the impurity which is normally insoluble, जो impurity insoluble है, are also get precipitated along with your expected precipitation. जो प्रोडक्ट आप प्रेसिपिटेट कर रहे हो उसके साथ में जो इम्प्यूरिटी जो है, जो कि क्या है, दैट इज insoluble impurity get precipitated along with your precipitate, and that causes the simultaneous precipitation. Now what is a co-precipitation? Okay, the process of co-precipitation can take place in a two ways. First is by adsorption and second is by occlusion. Now what is a adsorption? The precipitation tends to adsorb the ion on its surface. The ion adsorbed is usually the ion of precipitate. Ions of precipitate, जो हमें चाहिए उसके ही आयन होते हैं, लेकिन उसके सरफेस पे adsorb होते हैं. If that ion is not available, then the ion present in the excess may get adsorbed on the surface. Okay, and that kind of precipitation you may call as a co-precipitation. The ion that can readily fit into the lattice of the other ion will be preferentially adsorbed. Okay, so as mentioned earlier, these adsorbed ions form a primary layer. These ions attract the ion of opposite charges from the solution. Okay, this will form a secondary layer. The same thing discussed before in previous slide. These adsorbed ion will form a part of precipitate now. जो कि secondary layer adsorb हुआ है, that is also become a part of your precipitate. If not removed, they will add up as an impurity in the main precipitate. है ना? As I discussed over here, let me show you. Here it is. है ना? I have discussed earlier. So what is primary layer? This is your precipitate. The ions of that. See what happened here. Primary layer and secondary layer formation take place over there. Okay. Now we'll see the co-precipitation by occlusion. Co-precipitation by the occlusion. Okay. Now what is a co-precipitation by occlusion? What happens actually here? See, the contamination of foreign ion in the crystal lattice of the primary precipitate. The contamination of foreign ion in the crystal lattice of primary ion precipitate or primary precipitate. This can make a precipitate in two ways. This can happens in the two way. It occurs in the two way. The size of the foreign ion may be the same as that of the ion to be precipitated. Okay. In this case, foreign ion can fit in the crystal lattice of the precipitate, which we are expecting the ion to be precipitated, right? जो हमें चाहिए उसमें ही precipitate हो रहा है, क्योंकि दोनों का ion size क्या है, same है. और second case में क्या होता है, foreign ion will not be the fitting into the crystal lattice, but it will adsorb on the surface of precipitate. On the surface of precipitate, okay, and subsequently see what happens. This type of contamination can be removed by digestion and by the process of redissolution. Okay, so in second case, you can remove the impurity. बाय डायजेशन यू कॅन हीट दॅट प्रेसिपिटेट अगेन. ते सोल्युशन जे आहे त्याच्यात प्रेसिपिटेट बनलेला आहे तो हीट करा, पुन्हा कूल करा आणि जो सॉलिड आहे तो फिल्टर करा. whatever impurities was there on the surface of our desired precipitate, त्या impurities काय होणार आहे त्या ठिकाणी निघून जाणार आहे. कारण हिटिंग केल्यानंतर त्या डिसॉल्व स्टेट मध्ये राहतात, त्या पुन्हा कूल केल्यानंतर त्या ठिकाणी रिसॉलिडिफाय होत नाही. Okay, and post precipitation. Now we'll see what is a post precipitation. So impurities get precipitated on the surface of first precipitate after an appreciable time when the primary precipitation is completed. म्हणजे पहिला आपला प्रेसिपिटेट बनलेला आहे आणि काही वेळानंतर त्याच्यावरती काय होणार आहे, इम्प्युरिटी प्रेसिपिटेट होणार आहे, त्याच्यावरती सरफेस वरती त्या adsorb होणार आहे. ओके, the precipitated impurity is sparingly soluble salt with the anion common with that of the primary precipitate. है ना, ते कॉमन आयन असतात है ना, आणि त्या ठिकाणी त्याच्यावर काय होणार आहे, पुन्हा प्रेसिपिटेट वरती आपल्या adsorb होणार आहे. समजा कॅल्शियम इज, सपोज कॅल्शियम इज ए precipitated as a calcium oxalate. Okay, the precipitate of the calcium oxalate will get absorb the oxalate ion on its surface. म्हणजे कॅल्शियम ऑक्झॅलेटचा प्रेसिपिटेट बनलाय पण त्याच्या सरफेस वरती ऑक्झॅलेट आयन काय होणार आहे, ऍडसॉर्ब होणार आहे. and that kind of precipitation is called as a post precipitation. ओके, ऑक्झॅलेट कॅल्शियम ऑक्झॅलेटचा प्रेसिपिटेट बनलाय पण त्याच्यावरती पुन्हा ऑक्झॅलेट आयन डिपॉझिट होत आहे आणि that is called as your post precipitation. Okay, so the contamination by the post precipitation can be far greater than that of the co-precipitation. जर contamination जर झालं कोणतं पोस्ट प्रेसिपिटेशन ने, कॉमन आयन जर त्याच्यावरती ऍडसॉर्ब झालं तर त्याचं फार मोठं कॉन्टॅमिनेशन असतं आणि we need to remove that impurity from it. Okay, so all these are the things. Okay, now you have your precipitate in your hand. ओके, जो तुम्ही फिल्टर केलेला आहे, मी तुम्हाला अगोदर डायग्राम, आय हॅव शोन यू द डायग्राम. ओके, की वी आर प्लेसिंग वन फिल्टर पेपर ओवर हियर. ओके, whatever precipitate was there in our beaker that we have poured over here, इथे चांगला फिक्स करायचा आहे. We are fixing our filter paper. Whatever impurities was here, that is poured over here. So you will get the solid in this. Whatever aqueous पाण्यामध्ये पाणी किंवा त्याच्याबरोबर ज्या इम्प्युरिटीज आहेत दॅट आर गोइंग टू कम डाऊन. ओके, आणि इथे तुम्हाला प्युअर मिळेल. बट इफ देर आर सम इम्प्युरिटी रिमेन इन दिस प्रेसिपिटेट, सो व्हॉट वी आर गोइंग टू डू, वी आर गोइंग टू डू द मल्टिपल वॉशिंग. पुन्हा पाणी घ्या है ना, किंवा दुसरं जे सॉल्व्हंट आहे ते घ्या आणि ते याला वॉशिंग करा. ओके, का वॉशिंग करायचं आहे, सो दॅट इफ सम इम्प्युरिटीज रिमेन इन दिस, दॅट इम्प्युरिटीज विल गेट अलॉंग विथ द वॉटर इन द फिल्ट्रेट. ओके, त्या फिल्ट्रेट मध्ये त्या इम्प्युरिटीज काय होणार आहे, निघून जाणार आहे. आणि मग जो प्रेसिपिटेट जो सॉलिड याच्यामध्ये असेल है ना, कधीतरी तुम्ही चहा बनवला असेल आणि चहाची पावडर याच्यामध्ये राहते आणि तुम्हाला है ना, आणि तो चहा जो आहे तुम्ही यूज करतात, टी यू यूज फॉर द ड्रिंकिंग पर्पज. बट इथे उलट आहे, आपल्याला प्युअर जो सबस्टन्स आहे तो वरती भेटतो. ओके, आणि इम्प्युरिटीज या पाण्याबरोबर या ठिकाणी खाली निघून जातात. Okay, so in this way the washing of precipitate can be carried out. Okay, very simple. की फनेल घ्यायचा आहे किंवा त्याला तुम्ही नरसाळे म्हणतात, त्याच्यामध्ये फिल्टर पेपर वी आर गोइंग टू प्लेस and we are going to pour all our precipitation or the mixture solution in it. Okay, and whatever solid is there, whatever precipitate is there, that will remain in the upper side. Okay, pour केल्यानंतर वरती राहील आणि इम्प्युरिटीज खाली जातील आणि त्याला पुन्हा पाण्याने वॉशिंग द्या. ओके, सो दॅट इट विल बी इन द प्युअर स्टेट. ओके, हाऊ इन दिस वे इट वर्क्स.